How to make an avoidant feel safe enough to love you. We all want love, but not everyone is wired to receive or give it the same way. When you fall for someone with avoidant attachment, love starts to feel like walking on a tightrope. One wrong move, one emotional ask, and they withdraw. They vanish behind polite smiles, half-finished texts, or sudden silence. It's not that they don't feel anything, they do. But the closer love gets, the more unsafe it feels for them. So how do you make an avoidant feel safe enough to love you without losing yourself in the process? It starts by understanding that love isn't about intensity with them. It's about consistency. If you want to reach their heart, you have to first understand their fear. Avoidant individuals have a deep-rooted fear of being engulfed, emotionally, mentally, or even physically. It's not about you being too much. It's that intimacy, for them, historically came with a cost. Maybe in childhood, being vulnerable meant being controlled. Maybe they were rewarded for independence and punished for emotion. So now when someone gets close, their nervous system doesn't light up with joy, it flares with alarm. The key to making them feel safe isn't proving your love in dramatic gestures, but creating an environment where their autonomy is respected and their pace is honored. Avoidance needs spacious love, not suffocating closeness. This doesn't mean you have to play cold or distant games. That would only backfire. What they respond to is calmness, clarity, and emotional regulation. When you express yourself, do so without blame or neediness. For example, instead of saying, "Why don't you ever open up to me?" Try, "I feel most connected when we share openly. When you're ready, I'm here." This subtle shift removes pressure and creates choice, which is everything to an avoidant. They must feel they want to connect, not that they're being forced to. Love becomes safe when it's offered, not demanded. Also, timing is crucial. Don't confront them emotionally in moments of conflict or when they have already shut down. Avoidance needs space to process. If you chase them in that moment, their defenses rise like iron walls. But if you give space and return with kindness and steady presence, they'll begin to associate you with safety instead of pressure. Think of it like approaching a frightened animal. You don't run at it with open arms. You sit quietly, extend your hand, and wait. If they come closer, it's because they trust. That trust is your real love story, not the fireworks, but the slow build. Another powerful way to create safety is to mirror their emotional language. Not suppress your own, but pace your emotional expression. If an avoidant shares a small vulnerability, match it, don't overwhelm it. Let's say they say, "I've had a hard time trusting people." That's not your cue to pour out your entire emotional history. That's your cue to say, "I hear you. Trust takes time. I'm not in a rush." That lets them know you're present without being invasive. Avoidants don't fear love itself. They fear losing control. So the more you allow them to retain emotional control while slowly building intimacy, the more they feel empowered to choose you. Consistency over time is what turns fear into safety. Avoidants watch people carefully, even if they pretend not to. They notice if you're reactive, if you punish them emotionally when they pull away, if you create chaos just to get attention. Every time you respond with grace and maturity, it rewires their internal equation. Suddenly, closeness doesn't equal entrapment, it equals peace. If you can become their emotional safe zone, someone who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, but doesn't leave either, they begin to relearn love, slowly, quietly, but surely. It's also important to set your own boundaries without ultimatums. Avoidants actually respect people with firm boundaries because it shows emotional stability. If they disappear for days and come back as if nothing happened, don't scold them, but don't enable it either. Calmly say something like, "I care about you, and I value consistency. If you need space, I respect that. But I also need open communication." That sends a message. You are safe, but not a doormat. That balance of warmth and strength is magnetic to avoidance. They don't trust emotional chaos, but they respect emotional clarity. Patience plays a massive role here. You won't transform an avoidant overnight, and if you try to, you'll burn out. Instead of measuring how fast they open up, pay attention to the small shifts. Do they text more often without being prompted? Do they start asking how you feel? Do they stay during conversations they would have once escaped from? These small steps are huge victories in the avoidant world. Celebrate them quietly without pressure. Acknowledge them, but don't demand more. Love them where they are, not where you wish they were. Another critical factor is emotional responsibility. Don't make them responsible for your happiness. Avoidants shut down when they feel they have to fix your emotions. If you feel lonely, sad, or anxious, own it without making it their job to repair you. You can share, but frame it like, I'm feeling this way and I'm working through it. This communicates emotional maturity. Ironically, the more you take care of your own emotional world, the safer they feel stepping into it. They don't want to be the center of your emotional life. They want to be part of it without drowning in it. Let's also be honest. Loving an avoidant isn't for everyone. If you crave daily affection, verbal affirmation, and emotional closeness, this journey will challenge you. And it should, because love is not about changing someone to meet your needs. It's about deciding whether the way they love is enough for you. So before you try to make an avoidant feel safe enough to love you, ask yourself, do I feel safe in this dynamic? Am I thriving, or am I constantly waiting for scraps of affection? Safety goes both ways, and the most powerful thing you can do, for them and for you, is to choose mutual safety, not just self-sacrifice. Ironically, when you stop trying to get love from them and instead focus on being emotionally grounded, healthy, and open, they become more drawn to you. Because now you're no longer a threat to their independence. You've become a partner, not a pursuer. And in that stillness, something beautiful happens. They begin to love you, not because they have to, but because they want to. That's the secret to loving an avoidant. Make love feel like a choice, not an obligation. So if you're on this journey, take heart. Progress might be slow, but it is real. The avoidant may never become the most expressive, poetic lover. But if they feel safe with you, their loyalty will run deep. Their love will be quiet, steady, and honest. And in a world full of chaos, that kind of love is rare. So build safety with your own energy, not your words. Love them from a place of strength, and let them come closer, not out of fear of losing you, but out of trust in being with you. If this video helped you understand avoidant love better, I invite you to pause and reflect on your own emotional needs too. Creating safety for someone else starts with having it within yourself. Remember, real love isn't about chasing, fixing, or proving. It's about showing up calmly, consistently, and authentically. If you're in this journey with an avoidant partner, stay patient, stay grounded, and most of all, stay true to you. Because the moment you stop trying to be chosen and start choosing peace, everything shifts. If you found value here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more insights on attachment and love, and hit that bell so you never miss a moment of growth. And if you're navigating a relationship that feels confusing or heavy, drop a comment below. I read everyone, and you're never alone on this path. Thank you for watching, and remember, love isn't something you chase, it's something you create. I'll see you in the next one.